It has been nearly 1 week since I have left and traveled all the way to Markarth. I sit here now diseased and will recall my events in my journal. It all started when we had left the cave, Stenvar and I. We had decided to make a straight run for Markarth. At first, it seemed like a good idea. We ran into some trouble along the way, mostly wolves, the occasional bandit. As we decided where to go from there, we had decided to head over the mountains. The mountains seemed like a good choice. Rather than going around, we would be able to cut across the entire mountain range. Again, we were ambushed by more and more bandits. I later ended up finding a trail full of blood. I followed this trail, while Stenvar kept busy with the enemy wolves. As I decided to find where the source of the blood trail came from, I quickly discovered 2 bandits nearby. Bandits. I don't think they saw me.
Time to end this little game.
I battled these bandits, easily and confidently, with all the skills that I have learned while fighting. After defeating the bandits, I found the corpse of a young Breton woman. While investigating her body, I found a note. Hence note claimed that she had lost the last heirloom of her family. With her whole family dead, she decided to head out for the heirloom herself. I had recovered the heirloom from the body of the bandits just killed and returned it to her. As I explored the rest of the mountain, I found a large treasure trove of jewels, armor, and enchanted weapons. After venturing forth, continuously drinking alcohol to keep warm, I ran into another fellow traveler.
One itinerant minstrel and wandering wastrel at your service. Smell that fresh air? Truly, this is a good place to play a song.
As I continued down the mountain, we had finally reached warmer weathers. The first since I've arrived in Skyrim.
Now ain't this a surprise?
We had run into another enemy bandit camp. This time, instead of just fighting the bandits, we decided to fight off the entire army that stayed there. We made quick work of them. After defeating all of the enemy sentries, we had decided to continue on, as we decided to clear the entire enemy fortress. Also, my drunkenness got in the way a bit. More bandits, Stenvar. Let us storm the stairs. Yeah. Quickly! Die! Is that it? It couldn't be. After clearing the fortress, we discovered a blacksmith forge, as well as accidentally nearly hitting Stenvar. We found a few treasures, as well as we had decided to camp here for the night. Afterwards, we decided to continue traveling to Markarth. Over the night of camping, I had ended up being diseased with rock joint, so I had decided to try to stay out of trouble as much as possible. As we continued, we had found a destroyed camp with a dark elf and another Breton woman. Sadly, they were star-crossed lovers, who ended up being killed by a wolf as they were about to run away together from their families. At least, reading her journal, we were able to find out there was a small amount of loot, as the dead will not need any money nor food. Lastly, we ended up running into another camp, this time of the Forsworn. We had decided to fight them, but we had bit off too much. Instead of a small encampment, it was a large one, with nearly 10 to 15 Forsworn. I can't recall how many. Stenvar did most of the fighting. Stenvar once again proved how valuable of a hire he was. We fought many mages, archers, and warriors. I even ran into a beast called Markarth. I foolishly decided to challenge it alone, even with my rock joint getting worse. I landed a few blows before I tried to yield. I was able to heal myself, and Stenvar came, crushing the Markarth with his might and steel. Is there no end to these Forsworn? Stenvar, we cannot yield just yet. Stenvar and I, after defeating the Markarth, went right into the fray once more. Stenvar challenged the entire remaining camp by itself. I covered him with my archery, being able to injure and kill many of the Forsworn. At the worst moment, I thought Stenvar had been defeated, and I thought that I would have to face the rest alone. I did as best as I could, but I went into my last stand, hatchet in one arm, mace in the other. I challenged the remaining survivors of the camp.
I think you're bleeding. What in the...
When it looked like all hope was lost, Stenvar returned from the dead somehow, and slain the final enemies.
Get away from me.
This ends now.
When the battle was over, I have never seen a more bloodied blade in my entire life. We quickly ransacked the entire camp, gaining a wealth of treasures and weapons. Finally, we had finally made it to Markarth. My disease was getting worse, but we had reached our destination.
This is Markarth.
I quickly entered the doors of Markarth. However, immediately entering Markarth, I foiled an assassin. My troubles were not over.
By the divines, the Forsworn are here in the
It seems our work never ends, eh, Stenvar?
The Markarth city guard have this all under control.
And now, once arriving into Markarth, I headed towards the inn. I have spent some time recovering my strength, also fastening leather. I believe all this time of fighting and hunting dwarven ruins has spent so long, I need to return to my roots. I'll be preparing camping equipment, and will finally head into the wilderness. I will send Stenvar to travel the lands, acquiring a team of mercenaries. So until he returns, with a full team of 4 others, I'll be into the wilderness, hunting and making a name for myself. Not just hunting wildlife, but Skyrim's biggest wildlife. Until next time.